So it's a new hashtag for this one. It's called #Slammer Soulogy Fest 2022. If you don't know, my name is Hung Nguyen. I was the bookkeeper for Soulogy Fest 1 and then self-promoted to event programmer for Soulogy Fest 2022 by default of knowing else Todd Medina not showing up. So if you have not heard, Todd Medina will not be in physical attendance here today because he is being booked and arrested at Crawford County Jail. But of course, he is here in spirit. We are going to do our best, the Soulogy team here, to do what he had all in his brain, which is, as you know, could be scary. So we bridged out the Soulogy team. Special shout out to stage manager Ty and his beautiful partner Serena for holding the space up in this massive stage. I'm only 5 feet on a good day. You cannot believe how tiny I feel in the stage. And also for Amethyst for running some of the programs, and Nan for rescuing me and getting me here. So I do have a special announcement. First, we'll do an announcement on Todd Medina. Nothing has changed. So short of a miracle, most likely he won't. Medina is Todd's daughter, and she was on a special edition for his birthday. And this is her, so the irony is, even though her dad is not here, she will be the representative for the Medina tribe. So thank you so much for coming and joining us. She will also be working the live cam in the audience. So if you see her out in the field, she would love to capture your personal journey if you had any drama getting here, because I know half of us did. And as a couple housekeeping detail truck, behind parking, I think everyone's really good at following instructions, so thank God. Okay, so lastly, we have lots of scenes for the stage. That's Ty, he's our representative. He will take care of the programming, so if it's sexy, see Ty. If it's very unsexy and mundane, come see me. All complaints, please file it to Todd Medina, because I'm not gonna help you there. All right, let's get this show started. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'm gonna hand this over to Izzy Medina.
All right, hello. If you can tell, I'm a little nervous. This is my first time ever doing something like this, so take it easy with me. Okay. Well, I feel like we're all here for one reason, right? To come together. And for some reason, my dad, he's had a lot more handed to him than others, but he's able to give more. And one thing too is I've seen him bring many people together, people that you'd even be surprised. So I feel like one thing is we all need to hear each other's story. Well, first of how we got here, but what made us find ourselves, meaning like, I guess you could say spiritually awake, because when we come here, it's not like that, right? Everybody's basically here brainwashed. Like, we're not here to know who we really are. We're here what people are telling us or what the world is. So, I guess my question to everybody is, how did you wake up? What made it happen? Was it obviously a process, or was it multiple events? How did you wake up? You know? What made it happen? Was it obviously a process, or was it multiple events? How did you wake up?
So I guess
What
it's my
made it
time
happen?
to go in the audience. Okay? How do I get this? This is my first time. Can I bring this out there or no?
Yeah, not too far. It's got a little,
Many times checked every family member have mated, and they've only incarnated one other time, which was back then.
There's some other kind of soul group that you're part of together.
Richard's oversoul. He's part of some council, has called us in. Oversouls are coming in again to Earth. Yes, an invitation to ground.
You've all come to bring in that extra essence or awareness at this time on the planet now. Is that how you understand it?
It's like they were waiting for us to get ready. It's that time again. Because it's too weird that it's happening at 2012, and the whole thing is just too bizarre.
Yeah. The connection significant.
I've asked the oversouls roles and how they come in, and it's very similar to the personalities of each person in the family. I mean, the way I met Richard, I was in Sydney painting my apartment. I got up and I cut this cord. It was electrical, bolted through me. I woke up on the other side of the room on the ground, and I don't know how much time had passed, and there was a huge hole in the scissors. Couldn't stop shaking. And my dog whimpering, licking my face. One of the regresses I've had, Ginger, the electric one, kill me to clean any parasites in me, to zap it out of me in time to meet Richard. And then the next day, that was my first time that I went out with Richard. I had to have a clearing before I met Richard. At the time, I didn't know any of this. It's only in a regress. Whenever I have a regress, with other beings that come through or the kids, and go back and test it, it always comes up the same answer. You got your answer, move on. It doesn't matter how much someone else, they have that. That's their thing. This is our answer. Doesn't matter what history says. And the more we live by this, the more better things happen for us.
With the ET contact, as a family, from the interactions that you've had, some kind of focus?
Any hint of doubt, they always have just us. How can you be with Richard in this realm and still have doubt? Do you know who you are? Do you know what you're doing? Do you know your agreement there? how to open other people's hearts with all this, how to make it work for others.
And things. So that was one thing. And then, no, I didn't know. Mona will tell you, my sister, she'll tell you, no, Claudia's just going to go in there and whatever and do her thing and things. No, I wasn't really bothered. And in Ohio, no, I was out by Lake Erie and it just wasn't applicable. But one time I visited my aunt in Auntie Roxanne in Los Angeles area, and I was greeted at the door with a mask, and I cried because I couldn't hug her or my cousin, and that's not what I want to do.
Wow.
But with all respect towards others.
Yes, of course. Of course. Right.
I was in the laundromat the other day, 2 days ago, here in Sedona, and this nice girl, Vicky, at the end of my stay there, I asked her if I could have a hug. Yeah, always.
Yes, it's a powerful thing.
So, yeah. So, yeah. No, that when I'm on my road, nothing's gonna stop me. The van was a 5-year plan.
Meaning?
The day I saw it was 2015.
Oh, okay.
And I made the rolling motions to be here now.
Wow. Wow. And have you spent, like, in 2.5 years, what, 95% of your evenings in the bed in the van? Or have you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you pretty much every night.
Yeah. Yeah. There's only 2 other beds that I've been sleeping in. Yeah.
In 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Do you find it? Because I know, like Shannon's, like the way, because it's relatively the same size, but like I can see, like when she has it open and it's in the driveway, I walk by or whatever. You can, or even like at Soulogy Fest, because I saw her there before everything happened. I can tell how much she likes it. Right? Like I can tell she's very comfortable in her environment. Is that how you feel about your place?
Shannon's so beautiful. Yeah. But I'm just getting it now. Now Shannon's and mine are different. Hers is very open platform and she has beautiful things and lots of things. Mine is more clean looking cupboards on one side, windows around.
Well, yours is finished out.
Finished.
I would say, more traditionally. Yours is finished out more like a actual, hers is kind of a bohemian, gypsy van looking thing.
Right. But I'm the type that likes everything in its place.
Because you and other people.
Yeah.
I want to try something. Are you open to it? You got a few minutes?
Yeah.
My friend suggested something the other day. We were talking about ideas and playing with these cartoons, the animation and how we could present powerful messages and truth frequencies and such. And we were just talking, and he said, what if you asked somebody on the show, I'll just say it like to you, Esther, can you talk to me as your higher self soul and as Esther on the same conversation?
I hope so.
So, okay, let's play with it. Because I knew one day it would come in handy. I said, man, I'm going to try that one day, but how do you do that with somebody? But somebody that's as transparent as you, because the truth is the truth. The truth, people see the truth, they feel it. Okay, so let's start this way. Okay, so let's start with your higher self soul, because we've talked to your human, right? I don't know if you want to. I don't know if you want to close your eyes. I don't know if you want to keep your eyes open. It doesn't matter. So I'm gonna speak to your higher self. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right, everybody, support this situation. I don't know. I don't know Esther's higher self's name, and it doesn't really matter, but I can certainly feel the energy. So I'm just going to say to Esther's higher self, what is it that you would like to say?
What I like to say is to people to so listen to your soul, because it's time for the soul. It's time to be the soul and live it here on earth, and follow your intuition, and don't go in fear.
Thank you.
Greetings, beloved. This is a message from Mama Eva. I want you to know that you are loved. We choose every day to walk in love or fear. And I want you to know that we were born from love. We were made from love. Love is who we are. From God's source energy, love is who we are. I want you to say that. Put your hand over your heart and say it. I am love. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. First to yourself, and then out into the world.
Got a little soul speak tonight. You know, one of the purposes of Soulogy is to bring out into the open all the things we are sharing. In this apocalypse, everything's more intense, even if we don't know what's happening to us all the time. We sure can feel it. But there's a lot of things that we could share. You know, things that we're afraid to share or even embarrassed to discuss. Yet this is the universal paradox. It's how the universe teaches. Soul sense found behind fears. Our highest leaps of light just past the frail walls of a harmless darkness. Possibilities, probabilities, realities. More frequencies and vibrations if we're brave enough to use them. And they all lead to the same place. It's called the Soul Highway. Pyramids, pineal gland, ET lineage, memories of abductions, angel visits, ascended masters. And who are these powers behind the governments that have begun to fall? Doesn't really matter. What's important is me and you. Perhaps the best thing we could share are the personal challenges, the emotional eruptions, mental and physical shifts come with and to a seeking mind in the golden age we live in. You see, our victories are far more than we know. When we cross the heart to a higher ground, by yielding to the possible impossibilities. And what we find in this shared space contained within ourselves, linked somehow by the same healing power. It's called the gnosis of soul. We have given the world our differences, and the story has never changed. It's time to shine. Ascension is about honoring our sacred space, and when we do, all merges into one. And no longer do we have to point to what's different. No longer do we have to label each other with lies to make ourselves look good, to make ourselves look better in the egoic mind. It's time to shine, beginning with our innermost circles of life. From the innermost circle of what is life, the I Am Soul. So let your soul shine. Live your truth, not what the world tells you is the truth. The soul leads and the ego can only follow.
They find crystals. I mean, they come up with these amazing crystals from the creek, and these crystals make EMF organs, which are like little prisms. I don't know what to say. I got a message from a dragon type thing that the hill near us, it needed help. We went and did a clearing. I made my son help me. We went on the quad bike and we planted the organ. I looked up, ancestors are watching us, Jet. Yeah, Mum, get on the quad. As we just drove in the gate of the house, Jet started swearing. I turned around and I had to lean back. Huge shadow had come over the house. It was a US military plane. I could see the black stallion on the side, but I could hear the little girls in the citrus trees. They made eye contact with the pilot and then they fell out the tree. That's how close it was. On the other side of the house, made eye contact with passengers. Gigi said, they're not all human on that craft. And she drew them. The synchronicity for me after planting the organ, I started to question why didn't the neighbours on top of the hill see so close to their house? Why didn't anyone else hear it? Why wasn't there any dust? How come we didn't blow over? We've been at many fashion shoots at an airport and I can never hear someone standing even next to me. And that's with the planes going over much higher. Everything gets blown, but nothing happened like that. That's just one of them. We've had so many things like this. Our neighbours standing here with us watching craft. I don't know if it's a craft. That aircraft don't move like that, circles or up and down or flash at you like that. And you better make some before you break my heart. A few have explained it to us. There's many people around the globe where their light shoots out. You're having so many encounters because there's 10 of you because it's really bright for them.
And I hear what you're saying, yeah. Do you feel like it's kind of or let's just say, because you can't really say absolute one way or the other, but do you think it's more a natural evolution that everyone is coming in and everything is coming into alignment with, or something that we have to really hardcore pursue on an activist basis, with human motions, or do you feel like it's something that's in the air, so to speak, telepathy, intuition, people coming back?
It's coming inside. It's coming inside every person. Like the awakenings are happening from the inside. And like my intuition has changed. I've always been able to feel what people feel, but now it's like it's gotten to the point where I can like feel what people are thinking. I can feel how they're changing from the inside. And I pay a lot of attention to what people say, and there's just these little it's just like a shift in perspective away.
Right.
And I can feel the clicking happening with people that were seemingly so far away just a number of years ago, and now it's the way people talk to each other, the way people treat each other. It's all morphing. It's happening like so subtly that people don't even realize that that everybody's kind of softening. And I feel like it's just coming from the inside, and it's like we're having the great remembering, the things that we have forgotten many lives ago.
Like it's inevitable. It's inevitable.
Yes, that's sort of how it feels. Yes.
Yeah, it's inevitable. And every day, like it's God. I can't even like encapsulate time, but I know September post Soulogy Fest, and this kind of it's almost like we got thrown into like, I don't know how to explain it, almost like a super powered cosmic car wash. It's just like when all these things are coming and you're getting sprayed and you're coming out and then the thing starts blowing on you. But if I just look at the last 2 days, the level of conscious, what I would describe as a conscious dimensional experience frequency band, the level of the last 2 days, not the whole day long, but just pockets, has been incredible. Last night, I had this, I told you it was the moon and Jupiter. And Jupiter's like been in my face since I last talked to you when I had to cancel that day. You were the show I had to cancel. Yeah. And they're all looking at me, oh, you're leaving now? I'm like, yeah, I'm leaving right now, after I had talked to you. But Jupiter was right there. So last night when I saw the moon, and then I look, because I was sitting on the stoop of my RV, and then I see Jupiter again. I was like, oh, wow. I carried that. I wrote, I listened to music, I wrote, I laid down, and consciously I went in my body to the nth degree with emotions, focus, I don't know how to explain it. Soul, mind, heart, I don't know how to explain it. And then these things happened afterwards. And like I could just see everything. And I was like, whoa, I was just freaking out. I was driving in like in a haze, going, wow, what the hell just happened? But these things, these lucid dream recollections, these experiences like that, even like animal experiences, animal medicine experiences, these brushes with nature that are, like I'm in this town. When I went to, on my little sabbatical, I pulled up to this town called Payson, which is 6,000 elevation. And the fucking elks, man, just walk right into the town. And this town's got a few people in it. It's got 3 grocery stores. It's got probably, 5,000, 8,000 people. And they just walk right down Main Street. And you're right, everybody just like parts. Everybody respects the nature out there.
Yo. Yo. Working to release, to be free. Seem like I could be the king if I only did these things. Well, damn. You know the stuff that you want to improve, but you do not do that. That doesn't seem like it's hell. Well, I guess the rise out of hell is a quest. It's something we invest in ourselves to be the person who is not so perplexed, saying that I do not see or I can't be free. No, I know that I can go into that road, but at the same time it takes time to flow. And as these energies do expose those lows, it shows me where I can grow. Okay, I'm painting different parts of my wave to be that greatness that I want to see, that I want to relate to this world. But at the same time, I cannot be anything but who I am, so I just say I will not hold back. But at the same time, I'll be the truth up in these rhymes, and that is so sublime. I see that it doesn't have to be so perfect, just me working, doing my own thing and not lurking, judge another person for their hurt. No, do your own thing and just work on your glow, and know that if you judge them, you judge your own soul. So let it go, let it flow, and build yourself into a dope. You know that you are a person who came to this low, to this world that was so strange, where people were so estranged from themselves, from their souls. They were playing games that other people wrote, like you should be this thing, you should act this way. The American dream or something, some type of theme that they would say that you should play. And if you didn't play, they call you crazy, say you shouldn't be that way. No, now we do release into a new type of flow. And I do love to see so many different types of people in this world. Like I drive around, I'm like, what's up? Yo, I love that you do dress a little different on your quest, up on your mission, or you really gotta get it in the way you feel. And maybe you are just lifting yourself into a type of new perspective to see what's in it, but it's not the thing that you'll be doing forever. Yo, you'll be changing into something that's so clever. You'll be rearranging, you'll be that dude who floats up like a feather. Or maybe you could do it better if you let it go and you just did sever sometimes the parts of yourself that were tethered down up to the ground, like you wanna rise, but it keeps pulling you down. And you say, why? I wanna alchemize, want to release my eyes so I can see what's wise, so I can just apply soul into my goals, into the ways that I flow, in all this gold on my road, and all the stuff that I paint. It's that soul, it's that dope, it's that stuff that expose what will flow. But at the same time, when that energy comes through, sometimes it's so high that people see the stuff that they could purify, and that is not misaligned. Yo, that is so divine for us to see the low, the dip before the rise in our waveform. You gotta go down into what's in the way of your greatest expansion for yourself to see that. Do you understand that this is something that is happening? So actually, as we are unraveling, it's not a bad thing.
I'm in the 0 point. I'm a time traveler. I have no idea what's going to come to me at any moment. I don't plan anything. I just watch it show up. Well, what's showing up for me right now, which is interesting, River just turned 2 years old. We're kind of hopping around the country right now. We can't be at our normal place of residence because when River was born in the hospital, we thought we were going to have her as in a natural birth at home, but as fate would have it, we didn't. So we had her in the hospital while I'd finished my C-section, or I was getting all fixed up, and then the woman was wanting to give River the vaccines. These were the regular mandatory birth vaccines. And Eduardo said, no, we're not interested in putting chemicals in our child's body. And they insisted, and he said no, and he was just so calm about it. And we ended up leaving the hospital without getting her the vaccines. And so we kind of thought, cool, we're done with that. Except that we've had this, it's been 2 years now of my idea has been hold the stable field in the 0 point and neutralize these energies. But the reality is I have police and child protective services coming to my house on a pretty regular basis. We've been served papers this thick that are addressed with the Catholic Church on them, which is connected to the Vatican and connected to the Roman Catholic reign. And the real intention or purpose.
Shit.
They're coming after the Holy Child with the vaccinations. This is what I'm experiencing in my reality right now. So I kept thinking I'm creating this because I have some old memory or some fear. I'm owning that. I'm neutralizing everything. No, stabilizing the field. What I'm doing, what we're doing is facing what would be on average parents' worst fears is officials coming and saying, we're going to take your child because you're not taking care of her, so to speak.
Well, I think when people say, own it, it's all you. I mean, I think that's there's a connotation to it that it's kind of cut and dry. It's not cut and dry. It's owning what you know, and this discernment that you were talking about, and actually putting it into motion. Like, you got to do something. You got to think about it. You got to take certain steps. I mean, I went through, and then I think the other thing is on an individual level and on a larger level, we are equalizing polarities in a dualistic realm. And so there are some extreme situations of where your frequency band is going up and some distortion of the same level comes in. That's what happened to me after the Soulogy Fest thing.
We had to clean our temples to accept it. We learned how to heal and preparing to communicate with them. I got pushed into this from the beings. 3 marks on exactly 5 centimeters, like a triangle. I couldn't work out what's from. Asked by the being open gateways for them to come in. Wake up at 2 a.m. 3 days in a row on these specific days, and we'd go to a mountaintop and sunrise calling in of the beings. In the last day of that, I was in the paddock and I misread our yearling, turned around and I could see the hooves come into my back. So its back feet impacted, it chipped my spine. Probably 3 months, I was paralyzed. We're going to call an ambulance. They knew that I wouldn't get in it. Screaming, but I couldn't make the noise come out. I was freaking out. I was in such pain. I couldn't go to the bathroom. I couldn't eat. I couldn't move my head. 24 hours of that. And then Richard came in and said, all right, now you've experienced the pain. You're going to put into practice everything you've learned. And the pain off like that. Instantly, a being came straight through. The triangle mark, which is delta, and then the constant change. You didn't have to imprint it in me. I understand constant change. Obviously, I had to go so that I could understand the pain of others. My heart really went out to people that were in hospitals or retirement homes, or an acupuncturist. He said, I can't actually do a full treatment on you because you're really bad. You should go and have an x-ray. We'll then not want to operate, so I won't be able to walk for a longer time, and they're going to cut tendons and skin. So that's extra healing. What happens with the bone? They should dissolve. So I can do this, right? And he went, you can. Jeannie had fallen off Cookie, her pony, and she had a clean break. She was a little scared because she's never been in a hospital, and weird smells and noises. And I whispered in her ear, we might be here for another reason. The pain stopped, swelling went down, and her and I started seeing the beings in the hospital. We saw lost souls. We saw the patient across from us. We could see his pain body next to him, and she could see it as well. We were only in the hospital an hour. They didn't do any injections, nothing. We left the hospital. She went and bought paint and brushes because she wanted to come home and draw the beams that she saw in the hospital. No pain. Within days, she wanted to ride a horse. I mean, we're talking about knitting bones now. We're talking hardcore. These beings, are they making us super beings?
Follow the sun.
That it is activating what's going on to reappraise their life, to look at things in a new way.
We're walking proof that it is really possible, and these beings are helping us.
As it brings us closer to the joy and place. There's fatal choices, but which one do I choose? It's hard to keep bringing it back to you. Bring it back to you. Oh, the ground keeps on moving from under my feet. Back to open spaces from the city streets. And I don't know when all this restlessness alone, how I'm not supposed to see you as the closest thing I have to my heart. Will you be mine? Will you be mine? Oh. This is hard to keep bringing it back to you. This heart keeps bringing it back to you, bringing me home.
Instantly shaken, a golden devastation, wild revelations. I found the soul is me. I grounded in the streets. I danced with devils, anointed angels' feet, appointing fears to lead. My power was conceited and concealed. Polarities, duality lived in, breathed and revealed. Experience needed, soul sealed. Believe me, refilled, revealed. I danced and found my feet. My fantasies are still incomplete. I got angels visiting me and demons tethering me, life severing me now. Strife is treasuring me. No more pride's gonna pressure me. I will not be limited in my impossibilities. Paradox of alchemy, it's a 0-point remedy. It's a Isness of business, bigness, pretended, mentioned. I'm not ascended. I'm growing up. I'm showing up. I had enough self-destruction, initiations, and indoctrinations. This has been one hellacious vacation. If it's heaven's interpretation, I got the grace of it all. Every angel has to fall. I am soul, that's all that's left of me and you. Alchemy of the soul. Gotta turn that lead into gold. Alchemy of the soul. Alchemy of the soul. Alchemy of the soul. How's it going, everybody? Are we muted? No, I'm not muted. What's going on? We're just having a little fun, putting together more and more material every day. Just to give us more things to do with it as we continue to expand, all of us, and try to do the same thing. Can y'all hear me? Test. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We're just trying to expand as well at Soulogy and try to come up with different remixes, different combinations. The more I work on this material and go through all these videos, old and new, I realize that the best material is the newest material. Like, the best intel is the real intel, the real-time intel that's coming through, be it through music or be it through a conversation or somebody's creation. And so that's just kind of my own revelation or epiphany through doing a lot of editing. I am going to put the link to come into the studio. We're going to do an open mic. I'm going to put them out. I'm not going to answer yet. I'm going to give it about another 10 minutes. So there's the link on Facebook page, Todd Medina, and here is the link on live chat and YouTube. Okay, here we go. Boom, boom, paste. Yeah, I'm trying to get some feedback on what people would like to see. Do they like the excerpts that we play? Do they like the music? I'd like to see one channel just running 24 hours a day of just excerpts of people's interviews on Soul Speaks 5D and or other interviews where they're talking, even other platforms. And then maybe another 24-hour channel that's just music and artistic expressions, like light language and all that. So anyway, I put the link to come into the studio. I'm going to change this sign, and I'm going to put open mic after 0 point meditation. Thank you, Maja. I appreciate it. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is, Maja, you're welcome to come on. I put the links both on the live chat on YouTube and also on my Facebook page. So what we'll do is we'll listen to this 0 point meditation that Ty Hudnall put together. It's about 15 minutes long. That'll give me time to tie up some loose ends.
and then I'll come back and see who's called in on the phone, because that's what happens. It's like a phone. It dials up if you want to come into the studio. So we can hold up to 4 people on the screen at the same time. And I will see you back here in 15 or 16 minutes. You're welcome to come on the open mic, especially people that have never been on before. That would be awesome. I'm not dissuading anyone from coming on, but I'd love to see some new people come on. But let's do this 15-minute 0-point meditation done by Ty Hudnall, and we'll be right back. All right. Anybody wants to come in to the studio, just click the link in the comments and come in. We'll have open mic for a little bit. We got 2 people ringing right now, and especially anyone that has never come on before. We'd love to get to know you and hear your story. That's what we're here to do. All right, so let me pull up Julia. Boom. And Ernie. Boom. What's happening, everybody? Ernestine, you're on silent. Hey, Julia.
Hi.
What's happening?
Hey, Todd. Yeah, man.
You're looking fantastic. I love your nose piercing. That's very cool. I love that. Somebody had one.
Yes.
lady...
There's an interesting story behind that.
Oh, is there really?
When I was 17 many years ago, I was with this girl from Holland, and we were mural painters in London. We were going to Kensington High Street Market in London, and this guy stopped us in the tube station. She had her nose pierced, which was unusual in those days. It was the early 80s. And he said, if I pay for you to have your nose pierced, would you write to me and tell me the social and medical consequences? I'm writing a book about people who have parts of their bodies pierced. Now, we were young girls. I mean, I was 17. He said, he flashed us his American Express card, and said he was writing a book. He used to drive the steam train. It's one of the oldest trains in England. I don't think it goes anymore, but yeah. So that's the story behind that one.
So you got it done at 17 or 18?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
And it was quite unusual in those days, particularly for a female,
Yeah.
Yeah, but,
a female
very
for
retro
anybody.
now.
Yeah, you see a lot of
Yes.
Tiny Maldonado was on the other day. She had a really nice one. What's up, Ernie? What's happening? Oh,
Here we go.
Oh, there you go.
I just had my mic turned down. How's everyone doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good. It's been a pretty quick, energetic. It's been a powerful January after 13, 14 days. No doubt. There's a lot of stuff peeling off of us. No doubt. I mean, the conversations since Christmas and just the energy since Christmas has just been incredible. Absolutely incredible.
And I personally feel like, Todd, I know I'm speaking on behalf of so many thousands of us who want to thank you, because you help us to understand more about who we truly are. Not just you, by you bringing us on to here and sharing our stories has helped, because it's helped me tremendously. And I'm so grateful. The fact is that I connected with you 3 years ago. My life would not be the same today if it wasn't for you and your platform that you brought us all to.
Well, I think, thank you. And I think that that's really what's happening. I've always understood Soulogy as a microcosm, like a small mirror of the universe. And it's all inclusive. And what's the name of the game? It seems to be transparency. I mean, we're all becoming more transparent with ourselves, which means it's going to, parlay into being transparent with each other.
Absolutely.
What better way to be transparent than in front of everybody? It just kind of
and that's the thing about all of this. We're getting more comfortable with who we truly are, not what we think we are, but we're coming home to ourselves within. And because of this amazing platform, I get to come on here and just be real. I don't need to get on, like for me is when I step outside my home, I no longer have control. So I adjust myself accordingly depending where I'm at and what I do. But with my home in this space here that we are in right now, meaning us three right here at this moment, is that we get to show up as we truly are. No facades, no have to pretend. Everything's peachy. We get to say, fuck, I feel like if we feel like crap, right? And
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about this yesterday. Because, I mean, the world's changed a lot. It's really changed a lot. If you consider the boom of the internet, which was, I know the internet was, from the 90s. But the real boom of the internet, there seemed to be a boom that coincided with 2012. And so you have both this change. I mean, up to that point, let's just say that most people, and this is not rocket science, it's scientifically demonstrated, that as a human being gets older, they learn at a slower and slower pace. Because mostly they read less, they go to school less, but we tend to take in a lot of information as young people, young children, and then about 18 or 20 or 22, it starts to level off and go down. But the internet changed that. So, it kind of set the tempo for what was going to be happening, with the downloads and all that. But anyway, the reason I was getting into that is because it's come to this, I guess. It's come to this, where to me, every day we're stepping out. People are stepping out. And what I was thinking about yesterday was how so many people, because of the COVID, I mean, like the situation Morgan and I are in, or just relationships in general of all types, romantic and not, that have occurred. And so much of our daily life is interacting with people that aren't physically in the same geographical area we are. So there's something to be said for we are together. We are together. Like I talk to Morgan 3 or 4 times a day, as an example, and the reality is we live with each other. But you could say the same thing about all of us. We got somebody else coming in. Let's see. Hang on. Irene. Well, Irene, if her bandwidth will let her come on. Can you hear us? No, she can't. Or if she can, we can't hear her. Yeah, Julia. So
Hi.
What Ernestine was saying, who said hi? Julia? Was that you?
Yes, I'm saying hello to you.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
'cause I didn't know if it was the other person.
Okay, no, it's me just responding to you.
But you know what, let me put your names up. You know what Ernestine was saying about going out. And I think
Yes.
that, you know what I mean? I think a lot of us, at different times, but I not me so much. I mean, there has been times, but, we've been recluses. We don't want to go anywhere. I did it for a whole year after Soulogy Fest last year. I didn't go anywhere. I just worked, So it's a challenge sometimes, but it's almost like we're being put back out there in a new way or something.
Absolutely.
Do you still struggle with, like Ernestine's, alluding to, that, it's still a bit of a
Oh,
challenge?
yes,
to go
it's
out
hard, but I gotta get out there because, it's to be shared, isn't it? And we're all human after all, and I'm not afraid anymore. Being alone, I found myself facing the fears. I mean, I don't think I've faced them all,
there?
obviously, but each person feels these things, and I can relate to people again, and I can pick up conversation at the bus stop and in the supermarket and with people I wouldn't have done before, and I'm connecting on a soul level, and it's so beautiful. I mean, a lot of it is very crazy and quite frightening, but I can return and retreat to my home, and that's fine. But yes, I think it's done us all wonders, to be honest. It's not been easy. It's been, what it's been like. But, I found myself in here.
Yes.
And I'm grateful for that. I wouldn't have done it otherwise.
I think too, with what Todd was alluding to back when COVID started in early 2020,
Yeah.
that it gave a all of it is an opportunity to be with ourselves and not feel we have to go externally, meaning the outside world. But because of internet and the World Wide Web, we get to connect with people all around the world. There is absolutely no limitations unless you want to think there's limitations. There's none.
It burst open. I went to places I have never been before, and yes, absolutely, I agree with what you're saying. It enabled me personally, I can only speak for myself, to reach out bravely in my fear, and I connected with souls globally. And then after the lockdown finished, well, no, actually still in lockdown because I'm very rebellious, I insisted on going there geographically too, which I would never have done. Very extraordinary. Yes, I mean, that's another story altogether, getting in touch with well, yeah.
The name.
I'll go into that later if needs be.
What is that? What do you mean? It sounded pretty interesting.
Okay. It was energy coming to me because I was finally on my own.
When did this happen?
And this was 2020.
Oh, okay.
I would say I had a huge surge, very early 2020, and I could feel the energies pick up like you're going to a rave or something, and I was on my own in my own home, no drugs, no alcohol, and the energy picked up, and I thought, wow, this is full on, I'm here for the night. And the energy rose and rose, and I had this circular tray, and I was going round it, and I had this spiraling helix, and I tapped into these silver cords, and I was literally dancing on my own and pulling these threads along, and it was as if they were to do with some sort of a magnetic, the electromagnetics of the planet. And yes, it was such a high frequency, it was incredible.
Wow.
Better than any drugs.
But this is what's happening around. Everyone's having different ways, but they're all evidence of, that's powerful. Do you normally pick up on like collective energy like that? Or do you feel like that?
No.
Do you feel like that was a collective?
Sometimes throughout my life, but this was another surge. It did me, my friend. I wasn't reaching or looking for that. It just came, and it was very powerful, and it worked. It is just it. Yeah, my life has changed beyond belief, and even to me, I hardly believe it.
Okay, this is cool. So, like, and I know people have talked about this. I've noticed a couple of things, right? Like, and I don't know how far back this goes, but maybe at least a week. A couple of times a day. Now, I've had these things happen. I know people have talked about it, where you're just doing your thing, sitting down or walking around, and all of a sudden, you feel like you're dying. Like, your heart starts to do something, or you start to get faint, Or you know what I mean? And you actually question your mortality for a second.
Oh,
now,
yes.
I've noticed, like in the last week, that it's happened to me a couple times a day. And then last night, Morgan and I did a session last night, and we recorded it. And I'm going to go through the audio, and I think we're going to put it, because there's a lot of gaps. It was on Zoom. And maybe put it together because it's got some really good intel she was channeling. But while it was happening, and I can't remember the details of it, but while it was happening, and it was the very beginning of the channel, she was saying, basically alluding that something was coming in. And we'd already picked up on it. A bunch of people had picked up on it yesterday, which would have been my morning, even I think the Southern Hemisphere's morning after. Which occurred after ours. But anyway, at some point, when this thing she was channeling activated or whatever, I felt this huge energy come through my head and into my body. and eventually the energy kind of went to the womb area, which was part of her channel. But the reason I'm bringing it up off of what you said,
Yeah.
'cause I'm going to ask Ernestine and see what other people are saying. It was
Okay.
that same feeling. I thought I was going to die. I was laying down,
Yes.
and I was trying to lay down more, if that makes sense. I was trying to get into a position where, because I felt like
Yeah.
I was going to come out of my body, or actually have. I used to have seizures from 15 to 50,
Mhm.
and I thought I was going to have a seizure or faint or die or something, but I don't know. So, Ernestine, have you had any of this stuff going on physically? In the recent months or weeks? Oh, you're on mute.
Sorry about that. I had it muted because my phone went off.
Okay, here comes. This is who was trying again. Hey, Irene, hang on.
Hi.
Okay, you're good now. All right, we just went to Ernestine. We'll come to you next. All right, good to see you. Yeah, Ernestine, go ahead.
For me, because we all have our certain situations that we're in the current moment. And as I mentioned to you the other day, Todd, that I've been caught up with the Western medical system, right? Medication-wise.
Yeah.
And I'm in the process as of October 21st. Spirit said it's time, you're off. So I've been gradually coming off them. But here's the thing is, I'm not sure what's end is up, which end is down at times. So meaning, is this energy or is this the medication? So I go through this process that maybe some other people don't go through, but that's what I'm going through. So to be very truthful with you, I cannot answer that question. It just, it's what's going on with me. So, but it's been, yeah.
Okay. So, Irene, we were talking about these, when you're just going about your day and all of a sudden you feel like you're going to faint or your heart starts doing some weird stuff or you're breathing. And I was saying that it happened to me in a session last night with Morgan in a really big way because something obviously was being activated or downloaded or something was happening. Are you having any of that?
Yes, definitely. Especially, I think the last couple of months, actually this last year, and still going on. And I have this been going on in phases in my life ever since I was a little child. So from young on, I could trust my inner knowing. I knew not to go see any doctor ever, hardly ever. So I had this inner knowing that I'm going to be okay and I just need to breathe. And it's different when I seriously needed to be concerned to go see a doctor. Then I also knew when to do that. But it is in a way quite challenging because it's almost like you're supposed to see a doctor if something happens, or if you have certain ailments. Right now too, like I have certain ailments that are normal, whatever normal is, would go see a doctor, and I just feel like no, it would just go at this stage where I'm at. For everybody it's different, so please feel what feels right for you, because there's nothing wrong in anything.
Right.
It's all a path and it's all an experience, and if you trust yourself and even if you don't feel or you just want to trust that you also meet the people or the doctors or the experience you meet, and you'll get through it, whatever you need to experience.
Yeah.
So for me, it's constantly staying in check.
Yeah.
Can I add to that?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, I get exactly what now I can add to this conversation is with my story, what I thought I lost myself in 1996, because I don't go to doctors prior to that. It's not that I didn't believe in them, but I didn't understand more about who I am within me. And so what I thought I was losing myself, the truth was I was waking up, but I did not have people like this in and around me. So I relied on the Western medical system. But now with my understanding and my awareness, it's changed now. And that's where this community has helped me immensely. And I cannot express my heartfelt gratitude. And that and everything Irene is saying is exactly that, because now I'm understanding what I feel within me. I just didn't understand what it was, but now I understand what it is, and I trust it solely. Totally. And I thank you for saying what you said, Irene. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree
ahead.
with all of that.
Go ahead.
I've been fighting and I've been getting off my medication and I'm almost completely free of it. I mean, obviously, people need to, you have to be careful what you say, but doctors, general practitioners don't really understand. They've been studying for so long, they've lost touch. And to actually feel who we are in ourselves, it helps to be medication free.
Yeah.
They plan to keep us sick, but for a very long time, because it makes money.
Well, two things. One,
Hush my mouth.
No, I think this is huge because I've met
Yeah.
few people too right here over the last short period of time that have that are either have or are getting off of prescribed meds, particularly mood altering or whatever you want to call it, real whatever, Xanax and barbiturates and the whole gamut. But and the other thing I've noticed, and people have talked about too, is that since that whole COVID thing started, like March 2020, because of the hype of the hospitals, people couldn't get in, or they just didn't want to go, right? And now there seems to be more. I know more and more people with both mild, say a mild injury, or even really critical stuff that are just saying, I'm not going to a doctor. So something.
The doctors don't seem to know how to help exactly, and they just write the prescription for some more pharmaceuticals, which isn't necessarily helpful.
It's not at all. And that's the thing where, like a lot of people bash the medical system. No, I personally don't bash it. I think there's a need for it. But the thing is about us understanding more about who we are, truly are, and what we're going through. So to create this amazing community, so we understand why this or why that. But the thing is the doctors are being taught that, okay, if they have, somebody, appears and they diagnose it as anxieties or depression, they give you medication thinking that's going to help you. But the truth and reality is, and I'm speaking for myself when I say this, is that last year, like all of a sudden I realized that I felt like I was in this fog. I was in this intense fog, and I went, what's going on here? And then I was told it's the medication that's got this fog going on in you. And I went, okay, enough is enough. And I'm so grateful for my new doctor that I have right now, who's brand new. My first introduction was that I felt like I was in this fog. I have this amazing community, right? No, I didn't say the word community, but I have, I want to come off these medications, right? And because of who he is, he understood immediately. He could feel my truth. And I said, I have a support network set up, and let's go for it. And and the thing is this is where, when with all these amazing, incredible beings that have come on your program here to your show, but it's more of people coming in and telling their truth. You guys have helped me to understand. Oh, I felt that way. I didn't realize it was
Vice
this.
versa, girl.
Pardon?
Vice versa.
Vice versa.
You're helping,
Yeah.
Well, and that's why I speak my truth, and that's why I have so much gratitude, heartfelt gratitude for Todd, because he gives us a safe space to come and speak our truth, and it just it's just me understanding me, and it's just like even when I was talking about responding back to what Irene had said. these emotions and these feelings come up, but it's with joy. The tears are of joy and releasing. There's nothing wrong with tears flowing. We are releasing or whatever. It's not bad. We don't, these medications suppress and oppress us to, I call it act, say, and behave, right? I don't want to act, say, and behave. I want to be me, and I'm going to show up and be me more and more. And as you already know, Todd, I did not, and just so everybody knows too, I have not gone anywhere in 32 years. I'm a true introvert. I'm a bit of a hermit, a bit, right? I have my music. That is what gets me out to the world, but that's my comfort zone. That I went to Soulogy Fest. I wanted to go, and then a couple weeks before it started, Spirit said, "You're going. Don't worry about anything." And I already had networked with people who helped me. And I went to Soulogy Fest, and I didn't realize till a day or two before I went that, oh my God, it's been 32 years since I've done anything for myself. And I'm going to be around people. But there was this sense of comfort knowing that I'm amongst soul family. And what was really cool is I got to walk around. Nobody bothered me. People said hi to me, and that's great. We touch base. But I did not have to feel I have to carry on a conversation with anybody, right? There's a group of people that are chatting on me. Amongst that group, I just got up and walked away. It's not personal. And they knew that. But that Holy Spirit, I'm still processing it. And it was the best thing, the best gift I could have given myself, Todd. And because you're following too, Todd, Spirit says, do this, do that. Right? And it's like Soulogy Fest to bring us together. It's not about who's right or who's wrong or who's the be all end all. It's just showing up and being who we truly are. I have shifted and changed so much because of Soulogy Fest. Because I met people physically. Soul family.
Wow. Thank you, Ernestine. We got a new one in. Carol, it's good to see you again.
Hi.
From on the other side of the pond.
Hello. It's turned round in a bit of light. It's 10 at night, yeah.
It's 10
How are y'all?
We're good. We're just chewing the cud.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were
Oh gosh, what a roller coaster of a year. I've just got back to painting again. I've got a bionic eye, I've got a new lens.
Oh wow.
So that is a fab thing last year. Laser surgery I'd lost my sight years ago. Laser surgery, cataracts and a new lens. So I was out of action a few months. Not to be good visual, but went inward. Meditation.
Yes, me too. I'm going blind.
Oh, hi.
I've had both cataracts done, but I have this other one that's degeneration. I have blank spots, and it's happening very quickly. But the more I go blind, the more I see.
Yeah.
Wow, I was going to ask about that.
When my sight got bad, yeah.
I was going to ask about that.
I went within while I waited. Yeah, while I waited for surgery. Just went within a lot and looking at what was happening and if I was ignoring something within myself. And I'd had not wearing sunglasses for years, so that too much light and not eating properly. Too much sugar and all sorts was shown to me in meditation.
That's the one.
So now it's a lot of self-care, gratitude. Yeah. How's things gone in Sedona? I saw you'd gone to Sedona.
Yeah, I was in Sedona for like 4 out of 6 months. The four out of the last 6 months of the year.
Yeah, looked a fab place.
Hang on.
Yeah. I just came in and heard Ernestine say how grateful for the like-minded support of the community, and I do, because you cannot talk clearly to too many. Now, I have met some fab local people that are awake. So that is a big step forward because we can talk safely and they don't think we're one of the crazies. And the changes are dynamic at the moment. They're dynamic at the moment. Gosh, my energy bounces. Some days you can feel you're going down, another day you can feel you're lifting up. So there's big shifts.
What do you when you feel yourself going down? What happens? I mean, like what is going down? How does that?
The mind, the mind goes back to like 3D, what I was years and years and years ago.
Yeah.
So I was awake, but not evolving like now. So then the fear starts to come forward, and then I think, no, right, I am not going back internally to the young person I was, where I feared what people think, feared where I'm heading. Is it going to ever happen? I just let it go and I go with the flow. But I've got good practice at the moment and it's really beneficial to a lot of people. It takes 4 minutes a day and it's just looking around what you do have, even if it's on your bookshelf, your relative, your friend, whatever, gratitude for that. And then asking the universe to balance you, to balance people that you can help or that can assist you, and trusting. And a big trusting factor, trusting that things are going to fall into place properly, because things were very fragmented for years for me, a lot of isolation.
I think we can all relate to that. Something else I think we can all relate to. I wonder where it stands right now because some people have been talking about it. Irene, we'll go Irene, Julia, Ernie, and Carol. Survival. There's been a lot of focus on the root chakra. And a lot of people are finding themselves displaced in let's just say living arrangements, relationships, vocation, where they're in a totally different place. It's testing their survival programming. Are you having anything go on like that, Irene?
Oh yeah, of course. Of course. It's been like a thread in my life, but I've been pondering about this, especially the last couple of weeks and the last couple of months actually, because quite suddenly I decided to quit my job. I changed jobs, and then within 3 days I just knew this is not gonna work out. So instead of thinking I had great contacts, like a second job while I was building up my other business, well, whatever business, my real work. And then in October, just the first week of October, everything about my body was shouting, no way, I'm not gonna accept this bullshit anymore. The way you're being treated, what's the falsehood, anyway. So what surprised me was, instead of going into fear, I felt such a joy. So my anger transformed in anger, frustration towards myself, towards others. Why am I a failure? But it was like a story. It's like, wow, interesting. A storyline that's been going on in my life. And I know it's not true, but I've been fighting it. And I was like, okay, this is really the moment. Now I'm on charge. Now I'm charged. And it feels wonderful because it's not so necessarily tested. You can see it in one way when you're in one from one perspective. But I feel now, and I chose this experience because I want to consciously go through this transformation. It's my personal choice. I've made this choice when I was a child. I'm aware of that. There is always many options. And I feel blessed that I'm very consciously aware. But this conscious awareness is just moments in time. because you cannot hold this full divine consciousness non-stop in this reality. But we're slowly getting there because our collective is changing. As we are transforming and like descending into our body, right? We're ascending, but also part of us is, we're also descending in our bodies. So with that, we also transform a collective.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of like a false godhood, what you were like a collective as a false god, right? It's not truly supportive.
Right.
We're changing the collective. So the collective becomes like slowly but surely, it's kind of like eavesdropping, At some moment, it's like it's being tilted. So now the divine collective starts to emerge, which is false. It's like unraveling and starts to bloom. Simultaneously, it happens that the divine mother frequency comes in, which is nourishing, which is supportive, which never is in fear, it's never in lack. And this is what's like emerging now from the cosmos. And every single being on the planet is at some level aware of their positioning at this moment. It's in our cells, and it's our journey to wake up to it. And that's the excitement, that's the challenge, what we each individual person at this moment. Doesn't matter if you're an embryo, if it's your neighbor, if it's your crazy boss, everyone is in there.
Mm-hmm.
So talking about survival levels is like, wow. How can I survive? I'm living. How can I... Survival is almost like a thought form that's kind of silly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's a mechanism in our body to keep us moving forward. But now, so there is a kind of a survival, but it's kind of exciting. It's like, wow, what can I do with... Surviving becomes like thriving. It's like even being in whatever lack. I'm not in lack. I'm living. I'm going through processes. I eat just one meal a day, so I'm saving lots of money, right? I don't need to go anywhere. I don't need to go to the hairdresser because I'm not going to a job right now. Because I have my own inner job. I have my own unfoldment. And I'm being provided for. I've always known it, but with those falsehoods of thinking of lack and survival, it's crazy. It's dropping away like crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what's happening.
A soul can't survive. A soul can't survive because it never dies. How can something survive if it never dies?
Yeah.
There's nothing to survive.
Yeah, but exactly. But we're in a body that can be killed.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah, of course. That's
so
a given.
that's kind of that's the, and then there can be like a fear of, am I on time fulfilling my purpose? All that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, no doubt.
But there's this undercurrent, and I think we all feel that kind of like this. There's this love coming in, and we're hooking up to it.
Yeah.
It's like it's coming there, and it's like whispering, and it's like, listen to me, listen, and you're okay.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Very cool.
Anyway.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Julia, have you had anything going around survival? Or what are your
Oh,
thoughts?
yes. Yes. There was something you were saying at the beginning there, this woman that was just speaking. Sorry, I can't remember your name.
Carol.
Carol.
Irene?
There was something you were saying in the beginning there, and I was going to add to it, and it's gone now. But survival. Yes, it's gone beyond survival because survival doesn't really matter. It's, I'd like to survive, you know, the ego always wants to, you know. But
You're UK, aren't you?
I'm in
England.
UK.
I'm UK, yeah? Yeah.
Yes. And the general consensus is pretty grim, but to be quite honest, I mean, between you, me, and everybody else, my life is better than ever. I'm feeling more abundant and more prosperous, better than ever. I mean, you know, I've had the lows, you know, don't get me wrong, you know, facing the dark nights of the soul and all that, but what I see projected onto me by the news and what everyone seems to be worrying about is not really real.
No.
Because actually, when I look at the truth of everything, it's better than ever. So survival,
and it was co-creating. We thought, Yes, and that's much more obvious now to me, anyway. And obviously all you guys too. So if it's us, it's got to be everyone, really, surely. Yeah, the media to me has been my demon. I used to watch my parents when I was young, news on, and now my husband does it now and again, but I'm careful what I say, because everybody's free will, everybody's a right to believe, and I do look at it, I listen to it on radio, awareness of what goes on, but what I do is I say 1 minute, and when I hear the suffering, doesn't matter what it is, whether it be Ukraine, whatever, send light this morning to Priscilla Presley, because it sounds crazy, but I heard the news of Lisa Marie, and I thought, oh, Priscilla, what she's gone through mentally and emotionally in her life, you know, losing these people, her grandson and everything. So I send light to the person suffering. No, I send light to the person suffering. You know, it's like you can focus on stuff getting worse because they're putting all this out, and then you start to breathe the negativity. Oh, it's hard because to keep a good positive focus in the day, like I said, I do the gratitude. I do observe and need to know what's going on in my area, obviously, if things affect you. But I won't focus or discuss the negativity with people. If people start to focus going on back to virus, back to this and that, I just say, I don't know, is that your perspective on it? Or I don't understand, you know, because people will start to talk about these things because a lot of still in fear.
Oh, it's all they like to talk about. Yes, I don't have TV and I do not listen to the news. It filters through from hearing folk chatting when I'm out shopping or something, you know, because I have to go out. But no, I don't indulge in that sort of thing anymore, and it doesn't seem to matter. That's it.
How can I say it? I'll observe it, but as if I'm the observer, like I'm observing my thoughts, and then take on board what I feel. I need to know if it affects or affects people. But then I don't divulge in it. I focus on it all day. I like play my music, go for a walk, do my own thing while I'm recovering, you know, and I've been enjoying chilling a bit.
That's two of you that said that music has held you through this, and me too.
Yeah.
It was music that did it for me. I'm sure there's been two of you ladies who said that music's been there for you.
Have you heard Ernestine? She's brilliant, is Ernestine. Have you heard Ernestine's music?
No.
Oh, wow. Where you hear Ernestine's guitar? She's absolutely great. You're in for a surprise, isn't she?
Yeah,
I've got
music.
drums. They're just djembe drums and flute, Native American flute. I'll either just play or I'll put some music on, go with the flow. It's lovely. Lovely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Play some flute.
Flute.
Grab your flute.
Got one there. Oh, crikey. I'll just go grab it. I'll just pop camera there. I've got a blanket here. It's cold, Todd. And our gas and things are through the roof, so I wrap up warm.
Oh, there's another one.
Oh, we're going to get us all at it now, girl.
You started.
Oh, hang on. So it's
All
happening.
on the same wavelength.
I've lost visuals with you guys.
You lost visuals? No, you're there. You're still there.
Oh, I'm compact. Yeah, it's okay. You're okay.
Who's going to go first?
You want to show?
Can I say
Oh,
something?
go. I'm just
Irene,
messing.
go ahead, Irene. Irene? What happened?
Yeah, just before the music, I would like to say something.
Yes.
For anybody who may need to hear this, is with sharing our stories, you can see actually how beautiful it is that we each have our own unique unfoldment. It is our very private unfoldment, but just know whatever situation you're in now, it's a gift that for yourself and for the transformation of the planet and humanity, exactly what you're going through. Because whatever we're here to transform, it's part of our descending of our spirit here, and it came here to exactly undo the coding in our DNA to bring in new coding. And this is where we're here as one humanity. We're like cells of one big organism, and we're part of the planet. And
Right.
isn't this so beautiful? And I
That's
hope
lovely.
you can just start to see our transformation. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite a blessed time. I did a lot of grid work before the operation. I got the bus because I don't drive. I went up onto, well, I called it a Stargate portal. I could feel this energy, and there's 4 polarities of hill, and they're all equal. And I've done one side, the other, and I've got to get up to the other now once the weather clears. And I've left some crystals down, and then I photographed them. The photograph shows what the eye don't see, and I bring the angel galactic energy in, send it, and then I leave them on the earth. They're small, you know, they're not too expensive, and I really love that. I can feel the pull, send the energy into the grid. So I do quite a bit of grid and code work just outside when I'm wandering, when I feel, not all the time. But yeah, this is one of my native flutes.
Let's see it.
Fabulous they are. Very healing.
Give us a little taste. Give us a little taste of it, and then Julia, you're gonna have to do it, and then Ernestine, you better grab your guitar.
Oh, no, I don't know about that.
Oh, it's a bit rusty. I've not had it out. There we go. Right.
Wow, that was cool.
Just been intuitive there, just intuitive, but I love to play with my CDs. I pop them on and I'll sort of listen and just play by ear. It's fabulous. I did actually get this online quite a few years ago. And then there's a guy in the UK that handcrafts, where are we? He handcrafts some, a guy.
Wow.
And I have one over there in a different key. So I've got like 3 of them, but the one in the different key, I must forward the link at some point. What does he call himself? Gosh, 60 UK pounds flew over there, Todd. And on some websites, I've seen them like £200, $200 odd. And I paid this guy 60, and it has a beauty over there. It's a lighter key, different. It's more vibrant. So they're quite addictive, actually.
Wow.
Quite addictive, yeah. Who's got a flute there beside?
Julia, did you want to play?
No, not really.
Okay, it's
But
up to you.
But I tell you
one,
what's
right?
playing is just beautiful, because I'm thinking of all these people who are sitting, maybe on their own for a long time, and they're getting into making music, and we must be all doing that separately, and the music's going out into the ethers, and well, it's doing us and we're doing it. It's good. It's beautiful.
It's good.
It's what I'm here for on Earth. Thank you, ladies. Really.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I
Ernest,
use this room. Yeah.
Ernestine, if you're there, you want to play something real quick before we get out of here?
It's great. Yeah.
She's incapacitated. All
Well,
right.
she's gone to get
Yeah.
She's maybe
She's
gone
got
to
to
get
get her shit together.
Oh, there she is.
There she is. There's no keeping this lady down.
Yeah. Give us a quick number, Ernestine. Give us a quick number, and we're an hour into the open mic segment. We're going to go back to videos.
Oh,
after
really?
this.
Already? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Time. It's one of those.
Right at an hour. 2 hours into the broadcast, but we're going to do another hour to 2. Well, I don't know how long we're going to go after this, but we're going to close this out after she plays a little something, and then I'm going to go back to playing some videos and maybe do some long play videos of some of the old shows.
Yeah. I'd like to
What
add
a
a
treat.
little something.
Go ahead, Irene.
Because just a little something, just to like a reminder. I've been thinking about it a lot. Like, imagine if there was no internet. Imagine if we would just go in the natural unfoldment. So we would be in nature, and right? I think that's how I imagine. And exactly, if you would play in nature, it's the most intimate way of being connected. And so I love that imagination. No matter if you're drawing alone in your room or playing music even by yourself, just knows. The wind hears it. The spirit hears it in nature. The birds hear your song. So please don't ever feel alone. Feel your true connection, because that's our immune system. That's what's empowering us. That's where we start to really see the magical things start to happen.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. Take my drum out. I play my drums sometimes on the field. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, Ernestine, take us out. Thank you.
Go,
Irene.
girl.
I'm gonna mute everybody except for Ernestine.
Okay.
Ernestine, we can't hear you. Oh, I muted you. Sorry. Go.
That's okay. There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I just want to make sure I get everybody. Okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
So it's interesting, everything we've all shared, because it's literally, we are opening up our portals to ourselves, right? And just listening to you guys and just the vibration of music itself. And this song is actually called Portal to Divinity, which is who we are. So here we go. That's called Portal to Divinity. And like I said, Todd, is that is just before Soulogy Fest, I got a massive download. I shifted, but it also reflects on my music. My music has gotten deeper and more soulful than ever. And I have so much heartfelt gratitude beyond any words can ever tell you how much I have gratitude for you and this amazing platform and bringing all of us together, our soul family. Because I'm
You're
shifting.
beautiful, lady. Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. Much gratitude.
Spread the light. That's what we're doing.
And it's been also your desire. So you created what you desired.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a collective creation.
It is, and that's what happens.
So be grateful for you too.
Thank you. And that's the thing for all of us. That's where, for me, is when people speak their truth, whatever their story is or their truth is, I know what resonates, what fits for me. And that's the thing about honoring ourselves within ourselves. Don't worry about what other people think or their perception or their views, because it really doesn't matter. Honor yourself from within, and the blossom will just unfold. And that's what's happening for me. And this community that I'm a part of, because like Todd says, I'm not it, but yes, I understand that. But because of who you are, Todd, you gave us all a safe space to open up to ourselves, our true authentic self. And I thank you with all of me.
I thank you
beyond any words.
It helps.
Lovely music. Beautiful music. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ernestine. Thank you, Irene. Thank you, Julia. Thank you, Carol. Thank you all for coming in for the open mic segment. We're going to get back to it. And,
Yeah, great.
be looking out for us. We'll be popping in from time to time. So
yeah, I'll have to join another show later on, Todd.
Yeah.
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 It's super. Yeah.
All right.
I'll be thinking of all you guys. Every time I watch this, I'll be linking in.
Lovely to meet you all new, yeah.
All right. Y'all have a great 2023. I'll see you when I see you next. All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Boom. Well, that was cool. Yeah, that was cool. That was a nice hour-long open mic. So we've been on 2 hours and 11 minutes, and we're going to keep playing some variety of stuff. I got some Romeo Barron, Galactic Light Language, which is really cool. Air Lounge, which is Universal Brothers and Sisters Circle, Lavelle Zimmerman and that whole crew. Got some nice beats, and if you listen to the words, you know it's all about the Galactic Federation, Archangel Michael, just with a different spin on it. We've got some excerpt from the David Icke interview, the first one. We've got some stuff from a Soulogy gathering in Sedona 3 or 4 years ago. 28 minutes of Judith Kuzel, Gary Cook, a little bit of Ty and Todd collaboration. We've got some more of the Dillon family, Elsa Dillon and her crew, putting together some really nice video excerpts, promoting their life or expanding awareness of their lives that they've come out publicly to discuss in the past year, and also some shout outs to Mary Rodwell in the work she's doing. My friend Laura from Down Under, going to play an off-tune ukulele, and a little bit of Victoria Lillenquist with a little kind of a prayer and a blessing, and some Heather Grace Powers. She's got some really nice music. So yeah, we're just going to keep on keeping on. It's good to see you, Kimberly, down in VOC, and Shannon McMillan Thompson. What's happening? Give Yeti a kick in the ass for me. No, give him a hug for me. All right, let's start with a little bit of what do we want to do here? I've always liked this clip with David Icke from the first show. because he was shocked that we were going to be talking about what I asked him about. So we'll start with this one, and looks like we probably got at least another hour of videos already in the lineup, and who knows, we might do an open mic again. We might come on again after this broadcast, but for the next hour, or maybe hour and a half, maybe longer, I'll let videos play, and to keep you guys with something to do in case you're looking for some fresh, expressions or inspiration. Here we go.
Is a projection of the internal. Our perceptions become our reality. And, I'm very interested. I didn't know that this is what we were going to talk about, but this is the area that absolutely fascinates me. Not just that, it is the way out. Because we live in a reality that has two worlds in it. One world is that which is populated by the mass of nearly 8 billion people. And that world is systematically limited in terms of the knowledge that it's allowed to have. I mean, you can find it if you go looking for it, but generally people are not aware of that knowledge, which is kept from them. This is what the education system's about. It's what the mainstream media is about. It's what Silicon Valley's about. It's holding people in tram lines of knowledge, what I call the postage stamp consensus, a very narrow band of perceived possibility. And then you have this other world, which is made up of a global web of secret societies, semi-secret groups that has knowledge across a big range, but in two major areas that it desperately wants to keep from the population. And that's what secret societies are all about. And I'm not talking about, Fred and Bill who go down the Freemasons lodge. I mean, they might do a bit of manipulation in the local community and a bit of business and stuff. But I'm talking about the inner core of this global cult. And this secrecy is blatantly to keep things secret. So what? Okay, so one aspect of it is to keep from us where the world's being taken. So what we are supposed to believe is that world events, even society-changing events, are random and have come out of nowhere. Take this COVID hoax now. But crucial for what we're talking about now, and crucial to the control, is this other area of knowledge they want to keep from us, and that's the nature of reality and the nature of the I. So if you look at human society and the way it's been structured, systematically, you're looking at a limitation on knowledge, and crucially a limitation on the nature of reality and who we are. So, for instance, you can have a choice between believing in a religion, although that's being targeted, not least the Christian religion now, big time, or you can believe that this world is all there is, and you have your 70 years and 10 or whatever, and then you've come out of nowhere and you go back into nowhere, and that's it. But this other whole area of the fact that we are awareness, we are a point of attention within an infinite flow of awareness, and what we call human is just a brief experience for that awareness. And in fact, the true I is not what we perceive as the physical world. It's the consciousness that's having the experience of the physical world. So again, if you look at the way it's structured and you look at the way people are encouraged in channels of perception, we are pressured and encouraged to self-identify the true I with the labels of what we're experiencing. So if you say to somebody, hello, nice to meet you, who are you? They'll give you their life story, they'll give you their job, they'll give you their sexuality maybe, that they give you their politics, whatever. And all these things are just labels, race, just labels of it for an experience. So, you know, someone may be black, maybe white, maybe, you know, brown, sky blue, bloody pink. But that's just the vehicle for consciousness to experience itself and experience this particular reality. But the idea is to pull you in to self-identity, the I, with the labels. Because once you do that, of course, now you're self-identifying with limitation. Because once you think who you are is what you're experiencing, the world of the five senses, then suddenly everything looks impossible. Changing anything looks impossible. It looks incredibly slow, even if you try, because this is the realm of I can't. It's not possible. And if you note what's been happening in the run-up to where we are now, they have been systematically, again, subdividing those labels. So you have a man label, you have a woman label, you have a this label or that label. And now, of course, we've got this big, long, ever-growing list of letters where each letter is self-defining what I would call an experience, what they would call the self, in minute detail. And the more that this process goes on, the more people are seeing themselves in greater and greater myopic perception. So the I am R, as I would call it, goes from I'm all that is, has been, and ever can be, down into the fine detail of sexuality or whatever. And so this has been done on purpose because the world, this other world, knows how reality works. And it knows that if the population realized, and the population realized the nature of the true I, then its game is over. And this is why what we're talking about here is so important, because if we fall into the trap, especially now in current times, of believing that the I is the labels, the I is the little me, if you like, instead of the big infinite me, then it looks very, very dark and very dangerous. And the world seems a dangerous place that there seems to be no answer to it. But when you realize that what we call the world is merely a collective projection of human perception, and that if you believe that you are little me, you'll live a little me life, because what you believe, you perceive, what you perceive, you experience, then you start to realize, because this world is not solid, but it's energetic, it's information, and therefore it's malleable, it's changeable. And so if we had for instance, tonight for me, a massive global transformation in human perception, this world will change immediately. It would have to. This is just a projection of it. So if you look at just very quickly, if you look at 2020, all that has been right up to present time is a projection of human perception. Two types mainly that's got us into this mess. One which simply gets its perception off the peg from and off the shelf from government and authority, and it believed that there was a deadly virus, and the authority said, because it always knows best, that the only way to protect yourself from it and your family from it is to go under house arrest and do what they say. So that was that perception became the reality of mass lockdown and house arrest and dismantling of the economy. Number two perception were those that actually realized actually there's more to know here. There's something strange going on. And I don't believe the government are telling us the truth. But their perception is, if I go against it, well, there will be consequences for me from authority, and therefore I'm going to go under house arrest as well. And as usual, it was the few, and continues to be the relative few, it's getting bigger and bigger all the time, mind, that say, A, I can see it's a scam, A, I can see I'm being lied to, and I'm not going to cooperate with it. And it's that latter group that is going to turn this around if anyone is.
Yeah.
Feels so good. I feel good. You feel good. We feel good. All feels good. I feel good. You feel good. We feel good. All feels good. There's only one life in which we all share, and only one love through which we all care. Only one being in all that we're seeing, a slumbering giant is what we are freeing. When one is at peace, what a mighty release, a breath unto life, that all may increase. Anyone's joy is everyone's right. The wise one's wisdom is the blind one's sight. Yes, there's only me in all that I see. The join of life is what makes me free. And those who achieve and abundance receive is that part of me in whom I believe. When I am a winner, I honor all life. When I am a loser, all life shares my strife. Before life on this earth and my physical birth, I danced with the angels and knew my true worth. Yet all that I was, I really still am. The God out of heaven, an innocent lamb. If I want to know who I truly be, seek all that there is, and I will find me. And so let's call in a little bit of abundance. How many could use some abundance? Some people say, I don't want no abundance. I don't want to make a lot of money. Somebody says that would lie about other things too. It's the medium of exchange. It's an externalization of the love and the higher frequency. So money, crystallize. Stream right now into my hand. Go golden sun within me rise, let abundance take a stand. I allow the manifestation, big financial compensation, great success come along. Sing with me prosperity song. I am filled with inspiration. Gold now fills my situation. With my heart I thank you, Lord. All I want I can afford. Let it not only be for me, let all the world be rich and free. Let love and peace and truth abound within my life, the world around. And in my hands be ceaseless action, bringing wealth and satisfaction with God, vision and reflection. See my money's resurrection. Blessings here and all about, courage, faith, and wisdom sprout. Gold for me is everywhere, and with all I ever share. Let good fortune go before me, right beside me and behind me. All with money now adore me, with gold and emeralds they adorn me. Here's the vision I now see. My love has brought reality. Oh yes, it does exist for me. The angels have now set me free. So thank you, beloved, for being abundant. Thank you, beloved, for remembering who you are. Thank you, beloved, for knowing that you are the microcosmic container of the macrocosmic all that is. Thank you, beloved, for knowing that no one can do the universe exactly like you. That you carry a resonance that is unduplicatable. And so you are an amazing blessing unto the Most High. When you stand forth in the authenticity of who you truly are, the universe gets weak in its knees. The universe swoons. The universe has its heart being given something extra to throb about. So thank you, beloved, for being all that you really are. And thank you, beloved, for forgiving yourself and forgiving every being. Thank you for believing in the possibility of redemption for your own self and every being in the whole of existence. Thank you for knowing that no matter how horribly a being is behaving, that at the central core of that being is nothing but the light. So don't let the way that you see them be an affirmation of that horribleness, but see their redemption, see that higher something, so that you then make this amazing deposit within their soul bank that's going to accumulate interest. They might not withdraw it for lifetimes, but it will be there in their soul bank, accumulating interest until such time that they evolve to readiness. Have the universe's back as the universe has your back. Thank you for loving on yourself. Thank you for knowing that you make a monumental impact in the expansion of life. And thank you for knowing that there's nothing that you need to do, achieve, or create to make yourself more wonderful. By virtue of being an extension of the Most High, you're already infinitely wonderful. Thank you for knowing that the root of life purpose has nothing to do with doing, achieving, and creating. That the root of life purpose is in your beingness. And you already got that covered, because there you are, sitting inside of your own being and your own existence, living and moving and having your being. I love you so much.
Paint your palette blue and gray.
Paddock. This was November, out in the paddock. It was in the middle of the new moon time, so it was very dark. This is a really clear night, and it was actually a mirror, and I could see blue veins pulsing through the mirror, and then I realised it was actually my whole perspective. That's how big this craft was. The horses were looking up and twitching their ears and sniffing natural horsemanship that the horses aren't running, so they're not threatened. So I felt very safe. From that, there was like a 6-month period of hard times for my family with me. Said that I was possessed. They were really concerned for my welfare. My husband about what happened in the paddocks, but we kind of just put that down to, oh, it's another craft we're seeing, because we see them all the time, but that was the biggest experience. Possession or whatever got really, really bad. Like I couldn't even talk to Richard or the kids. I found it really difficult to communicate with anyone. I kind of went within. I wasn't depressed or anything. I didn't have words to say to people. So he said, look, why don't you go and have a kinesiology session? So we went and saw the kinesiologist we've seen a few times. Anyway, I'm having a session with the lady, and she went through absolutely everything. Hydration, kids. She said, you're just a clean slate. Done all the work. She said, I'm just going to try one last thing. I haven't done this with anyone before. I'll just try one last. She asked if it was an outer worlder experience, and instantly November, that date came up. She started to shake. She was holding my arm. I could feel her whole body, electric shock going. Said, I'm going to have to go and talk to. Freaked out and left the room. You've had an ET experience. It might have taken you. You've been gone for 10 years human time, but you were here. You were only gone for like a couple of minutes. I actually felt relieved because I thought, oh, I'm not possessed. I got in the car and Richard looked at me and I went, you're never going to believe it. That day, November, that's what happened, and told the kids, the ET sounds more realistic.
Still your love was true.
Good morning. On this Christmas Eve, I bring you joyous tidings that the love of the world and the love divine is here. It's now becoming as one. As in 2022, the world of balance was returned. The balance in every form and every way, in all formatting and in all that is as it is, as it is. In so many ways, 2022 was challenging us to return the balance between the masculine and the feminine, the divine masculine and divine feminine, between the yin and the yang, so that our heart could open more and more, and we could find the greatest of all knowing inside. Because in truth, all paths lead within, to the heart of love. Yet love always begins within ourselves, for ourselves, to be able to love ourselves into the deepest shadows as well as the highest light. It is so important because they both balance each other out. The state of equilibrium, the state of balance, is when both balance each other out, when shadow and light are equally present. And that is when the state of oneness arises, the state of unity, the state of oneness, where you transcend all duality and move into the state where you are all that is, and all that is part of you. Whatever your background is, whether it's Christian or Jew or whatever, it doesn't matter, because the heart knows no religion. It only knows love, divine love in the purest sense. Because we all are souls, and the souls are infinite. And the soul is not labeled. It cannot be labeled because it's infinite. It's the personas, the egos we take on in this lifetime that so often separate us from others. And where we see others reflected in our own mirrors, and whatever we reject in others is their presence within ourselves, which we are rejecting within ourselves. Because in truth, divine love loves you into the perfection of the creation you in truth are. More than this, at this season, it's actually a time of opening the heart, because the divine love is now pouring in unprecedented ways. I'm so reminded of a beautiful true life story that I read of one of my favorite authors of all time, Dr. Leo Buscaglia, who was a lecturer at the University of California a few years ago. He's not with us in embodiment anymore. But I remember as librarian, his books really spoke into my heart and soul. Because he went to the professor, he was a professor, but he went to the dean of the university. And he said, I want to start a love class. And the dean nearly fell off his chair. But he convinced him. He said, just give me a chance. So he said, okay, for 6 months, you can teach love classes. His motivation was that we teach the children everything about life, but we do not teach them about true living of life and true love, what love in truth is. Within 6 months, he had so many students, more than 1,000 students. And that is what he said, our educational systems and our whole society teach us everything but how to live truly and with great love. And then he goes on to relate a story of when he was in Thailand. And he was just hitchhiking along because he wanted to go into a deeper knowing of his own soul. And so he ended up at Christmas time in Thailand, in a little village. And he felt homesick. So the Thai people came to him and said to him, why are you sad? And then he said, no, it's Christmas time and I'm far away from my family. And he told them the story of Joseph and Mary and the little Jesus that was born. But when he got to the part where they got to the inn and the innkeeper shuts the door in their face and said, I've got no space for you, they all started crying. They said, how can they turn him away? We always make space. There's always space. Why did they turn him away? The next morning, when he woke up and climbed out of his little tent, they had gifted him. They brought him gifts, everyone in their own way. Although they had very little, what little they had, they were sharing with him with great love. But the question that remained with him for the rest of the day is, why didn't they make space? Why didn't they take Mary and Joseph in? Why didn't they take them into their homes? To me, that story is the epitome of us and our closed hearts and our closed homes, and how we so often forget to embrace the whole of society and not only the ones that we love or are closest to us. There are many, many people who are alone at Christmas time. There are many of the homeless. There are many that have so little that they in truth have nothing to celebrate. But you will find that they will still dance and sing with joy. Here in Africa, you see that. And to me, it's always what the Africa symbolizes is that you do not need so many things in life. You do not need all the stuff. The stuff that makes you happy. The stuff can't bring you love. All you do is you attach to it, and any attachment forms negative cords and ties. And then you start being resentful if something is taken away from you or someone is taken away from you. You can love without attachment. You know, you don't need to have a lot of money to go and reach out at other souls. All you need is a big open heart filled with love. And you can write love letters in other people's hearts and souls simply by opening your heart. And I'm going to do a little meditation with you now, where I want you to just open your heart. And we are going to really bring this to the whole of humanity, to every soul in humanity. And I'm going to work with a white flame today, which is a Divine Mother flame. It's a flame of purity. It's a flame of ascension. It's a flame of pure love. It's a flame of truth. It's a flame of integrity. Yet it holds so much more, which I will not mention here, because the space is not and the time is not. But let us just close our eyes. And as we close our eyes, I want you to breathe in deeply into your heart. And let this beautiful, blinding white energy of a Divine Mother enter there. And as you find this breathing in of this beautiful white flame, let it ignite the heart rose within you. You have a beautiful heart rose that rests in your hearts. And as you breathe out, just breathe out all the tension, the stress, the worries, the cares, everything that life brought to you. The ferretic, running around, trying to do this, trying to buy this, trying to go into the rat race and become like a rat in an endless search for more things to give at Christmas or in the festive season. More food to eat. More. So breathe in this beautiful divine light going into your heart rose, and breathe out all that tension, the worries, the cares, the frantic running after nothingness. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And as you let go, your heart expands. And now feel the Divine Mother Love entering every single petal of your heart rose in a twirling, swirling fashion. And as it does so, it is cleansing and clearing each petal, cleansing and clearing all which is keeping that heart closed. The fear of being hurt, the fear of being on your own, the fear of loving too much, giving too much, whatever. The unforgiveness, the shame and blame and guilt. There are no victims in life. They are merely soul lessons to master in higher love. Allow each petal to be cleansed and cleared, and feel that heart rose slowly opening, bud, petal by petal. And as all the pain, the suffering, the anxieties, the stress, whatever is closing the heart and closing the arteries and clogging up the arteries, let that now just drift away. And in the center of your heart, see that rose unfolding in all her beauty. Exquisite beauty, a beautiful white rose like snow with a tinge of pink and gold. Just breathe into that heart and breathe out everything. And as you breathe out all the pain and whatever is there, the separateness, the alienation, whatever it is there, the angels of love are gathering it and pouring it into the white flame, as that white flame transmutes it into pure divine love. Divine Mother love. For the Divine Mother birthed all of creation. Nothing exists that was not born of a Divine Mother. The Divine Father is the seed. The Mother is the one who brought the seeds into form and being and births it. And the Holy Spirit, the Shekinah, is a holy fire that ignites the sacred fires within and around us. One. And as each petal opens, the seraphim are singing in the new creation within you. As they work with the Divine Mother, and they sing the holy songs of creation. Holy, 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 holy. All is holy. One. See the sacredness of your rose as all the petals are open. See the beautiful clarity, the purity of that rose. It is sparkling, it is illuminated. There's not a speck of dirt anywhere or imperfection. There's only perfection. And in the middle of this beautiful rose, your heart rose, with the most exquisite perfume and with the most exquisite sacred tone, which is uniquely that of your soul, and the sacred geometry which holds your soul name in truth. You are a perfected creation. You are whole and complete. You are so loved. And feel how that heart rose is now expanding as your heart center expands. And let that heart center now envelop your whole body, your physical, your emotional, your mental, your spiritual, and all 12 bodies. Your spinal column, all 33 degrees of your spinal column is fully filled with the white flame, and all is activated with the spinal fluid. As you are now fully tuned in, and your lightning rod is fully activated, and all your chakras are now fully activated and filled with the white flame, purified, clarified, fully functioning as one with your spinal column. And now feel the divine presence. As a white flame is within you and all around you. You are so loved. You are day and night in the company of heavens. There is not one moment where you are ever alone. You are